Welcome back, guys. I'm here with another video, joined here with Kyle, Ryan, and myself, Alfred. We're going to be doing a mastery guide for defending Kanal.
All right, so like Alfred said, today we're going to do a master guide for defending Canal. First, we're going to do a general overview of each of the objectives, which we think are the best. Each of them we'll talk about how we would defend them as overall, and then we're going to give you examples on the 5 people we pick and how we would substitute them if you want to play someone else. We'll go over things like reinforcements and where we think everyone should be playing, and as well, we're going to show you video clips of us setting up so you can see if you want to follow along. All right, Ryan, and Alfred, you ready to start?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first off, we think server is definitely the best objective.
Yeah,
Sure,
Kyle.
All right, so we're going to say server is the best one to start and where you should be starting out. What do you see, Ryan, as the most common ways people attack server?
Mainly from the breach hole.
Yeah, most people try thermiting the wall over here in the pillbox. And then a lot of people will attack from the skylight side, the sky bridge side, sorry.
And most
A lot of people like the rush
from
from sky
90
bridge.
windows.
Yeah, and then you'll have your 90 windows where people can push through, as well as up your green and your green and red staircase. So optimally, you want to be defending all these ways people can push up. So we could talk about what 5 people we suggest and the substitutes for each one. So person number 1, let's talk about the Mira first, because we think Mira is very strong on this objective and usually player.
So Mira is actually something that we started doing recently, but it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah, if you
so
want.
What we do is
the left wall there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we reinforce the left wall. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. We usually set up our mirrors inside servers so we're able to see inside A and be able to watch it from the other objective, so we don't have to be sitting there in A when they open up the breach, so it's very hard for them to kill us. It's a way to contest the breach from not being in there. And then we also do one second mirror over here on this wall. And typically we have 2 people playing in server, which we'll get to the other person later. But this will be where the mirror is sitting. So we have vision into A, and you're also inside B. So these people that are watching the mirror windows will be responsible for watching people rushing in breach. So that would be the player number 1. Is there really a substitute for mirror in this situation?
And not.
Yeah, our whole strategy is really based around the mirror. Yeah. You could probably get away with an Echo or Maestro instead, but you're gonna have to play inside A more because you don't have that vision that mirror brings inside A. So the second crucial operator would be Bandit, we would suggest, but it could be anyone else that could be able to stall the wall. That would be for the main wall over here. When people are trying to thermite the wall, because this is the biggest wall that gets thermited, their biggest target to achieve when attacking this objective. If you're able to bandit it, then it's going to stall them out a little more. So we would suggest that your second player is playing someone that's wall denial here, and will be able to. We usually typically have this person play behind the mirrors after they get the wall with mirror. That's where the 1 and 2 is, behind the mirror walls. So for the third one, we would suggest if someone holding Skybridge, this one's more flexible. Personally, usually choose Jaeger if not Vigil. Here, yeah, for the person defending Skybridge, you want to be able to watch the Skybridge window a lot of people jump into, as well as watch the staircase of people coming up the stairs. So if you play Jaeger, in this case, you're able to drop your ADSs down for you here, as well as other people on points behind the mirror windows or people defending the staircases, which we'll get onto in a second. But yeah, it's very important to have someone watching the skylight because there's a heavy push away and this head glitch coming. When attackers have this head glitch pushing in Skybridge, it could be very, very beneficial for them. Alright, so going on to the next person, the 4th person, we usually go with a Valkyrie or someone to provide intel. This could be switched out for someone else providing intel, I guess. But typically we have the Valkyrie play on red stairs. And they will usually throw their cameras outside or other places to help out the team. And they'll sit on red stairs. Sometimes they're given barbed wire underneath or an ADS on their staircase. And their goal is to watch people pushing in from the door by the breach up there and watching people pushing in from below. Because red stairs is a common way people push up. As well as help 90 if they end up jumping in the 90 windows. You think there's any other substitutes for the Valkyrie? Someone else that provides intel? You could.
I mean, most of the time we put our cams outside, right?
Yeah. It's mostly intel. You want as much intel as possible, and you want to be able to stall the staircase. For the 5th person, we would suggest a trapper. This could be a Capcan, a Legion, a Frost, Ella. Any trapper could really do, just to slow down rushes or slow down pushes, and typically we like that person playing on green stairs. If we have a Jaeger, as before, we'll give the person an ADS to help them on green stairs, but if you have a trapper that's watching green, with that setup overall, you're able to have one person on each of the stairs defending the stairs, as well as having 2 people behind the mirrors to focus on the breach if they get through, and have someone covering and stalling out in Skybridge. Is there anything I missed, guys, that you guys want to talk about for this objective?
As far as the Valkyrie, I don't really think there's a substitute for Valkyrie either. Because most of our intel comes from outside.
There can be substitute spots for Valkyrie.
Okay, okay.
Where Valcam spots can go.
And later on, you guys will see our sample Valcam spots there where we personally put them during the round. You'll see that later on in the example clips. But right now, I think we covered most of it. Mira and Valkyrie are 2 people that we would suggest not really subbing out. Your second one in Bandit could be subbed out for Arcade or Mute, I guess. But Bandit's usually the best because he can get the wall and be able to play behind the mirrors.
Bandit trick.
Yeah, Bandit trick if you're really good at it. And the Jaeger on the 3rd person, the Jaeger on the stairs for Skybridge can be subbed out too, but overall it is what it is there. If it's just whatever roamer fits best or whatever person you want there, whoever's comfortable playing it. And then for the trapper, like I said, it could be any trapper. So let's go over the reinforcements real quick with the 10. So we would suggest doing number 1 here, number 2 here where this explosion is, number 3 here, number 4 there, number 5 and 6 where the 2 mirrors are, 5 and 6, and then we would do 7, 8, 9, and 10. This way, if people are shooting in from the 90 windows, they aren't able to shoot you guys while they're on the mirror windows. As well as if they try throwing nades in, you'll be able to have the ADSs there. So
now there's one small thing for the trapper role. Generally, whenever you're going to be playing around green stairs, you do have to watch out from this wall because a lot of the times people who do push from Skybridge
will randomly spray.
Yeah, their bullets will tend to go through the wall, and you can get headshotted randomly. So you have to be wary of that.
Yeah,
just list call outs and just be aware when someone comes there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can see that one flaw because we don't reinforce this wall. You can easily get wall bang, but you just have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
The example you're going to see is going to have Mira, Bandit, Jaeger, Valkyrie, and Legion in the example. So you're going to see your example clips on how we set up with for everyone throughout the prep phase in order to achieve a perfect setup. Then we'll go to the next objective.
You cannot say my name.
Alright, so we're going to give you a blueprint of our setup, so if you want to copy our setup or make adjustments to our setup, so you could see exactly where we place everything. So first up, we talked about the Mira. She'll be reinforcing the 2 walls from server and putting her mirrors on there, as well as sitting inside server behind one of the windows.
So for Jaeger specifically, he places an ADS in Skybridge, 1 in green hallway, and 1 in red. He reinforces 3 and 4 in the box, and he places barbed wire on red stairs and Skybridge stairs. And he mainly sits on Skybridge and just defends it. So for Bandit, he reinforces 5 and 6 specifically, which is where people mainly breach from. And he places his Bandit batteries all along the walls in that box. So along 5, 6, 3, and 4. And Bandit is one of the people who sits behind the mirror window.
For Valkyrie, she'll reinforce 2 walls in 90 hallway, being 7 and 8. She'll also throw a Valcam in Skybridge to help out Jaeger when people are pushing into Skybridge. As well as she'll throw a Valkyrie cam in the southeast corner outside of 90, so you can get some coverage and vision outside of 90. As well as one outside of Skybridge window, so you can get some coverage on that roof. If you want to see exactly where we throw the Valcams, it was shown in the clips. You can go back to those example clips where you can see Valkyrie throw the cams. And for the 5th operator, this is your trap operator. We use Legion, our example. He will reinforce the other 2 walls in 90 hallway, being 9 and 10. He will put Legion traps. Some example Legion traps we have on the map would be on the staircases and doorways, as well as Skybridge, and he will be sitting on top of green to hold down the green staircase.
Now we're moving on to our second objective, which is kayaks. This is usually the second best one that we usually defend. People like to push through trench, yellow stairs, and mainly showers.
All right. For us, when we're picking our 5 defenders, we generally like to have as much trappers as possible on this objective, because we know a lot of people like to swarm at the same time and push the objective hard. Some people will tend to take the top floor first, when others will just try pushing right in right away. So having trappers gives us the ability to slow people down if they're rushing. So we try to getting as much trappers as possible. So usually we tend to go with 1, 2, and 3. Usually having 3 trappers, being Kapkan, Frost, and Legion. As well as when we're going for the 4th one, we usually tend to go with the Jaeger, because you never know. Jaeger will always get value when people are fusing above, or if they sledge above and throw nades down, or if they're just throwing nades into the objective when they're pushing in. Having those ADSs are always valuable. And then typically with our 5th person, we will go with as a mute, someone deny entry. But I guess this could be subbed out for a more open role. I guess you could get with it with Mozzie. We just like to fill the role with someone that can deny entry, deny intel for the attacker. So Mozzie or mute could work good there. You think that's good, boys? Is that generally the 5?
Yeah. Legion, Frost, Kapkan, Jaeger, Mute/Mozzie. Yep.
Okay, so we'll talk about where we think each of the 5 should be playing. Typically what we do is we'll have one person sit yellow stairs to be able to cover the yellow staircase and the yellow window if they're sitting in somewhere inside yellow. After that, we'll typically have one person playing in showers. This could be the
we
mute or
generally
someone
have our
else.
mute playing in showers with the shotgun.
That's correct.
It's more close range. He watches trench and then showers.
That's correct. And then typically we have 2 people inside the point. This could be a mix of whoever you feel like. It could be the Kapkan and the Jaeger, or the Kapkan and the Frost. Whatever your option is there. And then the 5th person is more open. Sometimes they usually play under the staircase, or they can move around to help showers or yellow stairs, depending on who needs help. But on this type of objective, we really like to bunker downstairs and not have any roamers, as typically it's hard to get value roaming on this objective, especially because it's not easy holding that 2nd floor right above you. So having everyone sit downstairs and bunker down, it makes it very hard for a defense when they're pushing in. And having all those traps will stall them out and cause them to take longer to get into the point. Does that sound good to you guys? Anything I missed out there?
No, that sounds perfect.
Alright, so we're going to go over the 10 reinforcements we suggest. First, we'll do the 2 hatches, which is one here and the other one here. That's 1 and 2. Then we'll go over to the closet to get 3 down here. We'll make sure we have this one done for people pushing in trench. We'll do 4 and 5 right here. Then over here we'll do 6 and 7. And we'll have 8 and 9 here. We only use 9 reinforcements here. If you guys want to use your 10th one to more free option, you could. I guess you could put one in the middle here, just if you're sitting on the other side of the wall so you don't get sprayed through it. But that's completely up to you guys, where the 10th one is optional. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other things you guys want to point out about this map, this objective, before we move on?
No.
Alright, so like we said before, and you just saw with the upstairs server room, we're going to show you example clips on how we set up every single operator here. These example clips will have us playing Legion, Kapkan, Frost, Jaeger, and Mute. You'll see how we set up with our reinforcements, where we place all of our traps and our mute jammers and our ADSs. You guys can take a look at that now. So for the blueprint of kayaks, the first person up will be Legion. He wants to go upstairs and reinforce the 2 hatches. On his way down, he can throw some goo mines on the staircases. As well as when he gets downstairs, some sample goo mine pictures from starting off the round you can put on the staircases and the trench doorway. And he's going to be sitting inside yellow to defend the yellow window and the yellow staircase.
So for Kapkan, as you can see, his trap placements are all circled in red. An example being the one leading into showers. The one going into closet is a little more questionable than the rest, but of course you can just switch it up to your liking. This is just what we recommend. He's going to be reinforcing wall 3 and 4, and he'll be playing around the staircase, but his position is a little more flexible than the rest, so he can rotate to any part of kayaks that he needs to be.
Alright, so for Frost, she'll be reinforcing walls 5 and 6. She will be placing her frost traps in the areas circled in blue. Most of them are leading from outside of yellow, one being showers, one being the yellow window. She will also go upstairs to place another frost trap at the window upstairs that's circled in blue. And then she'll head back downstairs and she'll be sitting on point. Jaeger's going to reinforce walls 7 and 8. He's going to place his 3 ADSs around the point, as well as put a barbed wire on yellow stairs and one more flexible one pushing into point. And he will be playing his point as well with Frost.
Alright, so in Mute's case, he's going to be placing 4 of his jammers all along kayaks, namely around the major entry points leading into essential areas such as the objective and other places where your teammates are going to be sitting. Mute himself is going to be playing underneath showers with the shotgun, and he's going to be reinforcing closet 9. So lastly, map room is the objective that we pick as opposed to Coast Guard meeting room. Majority of the time, people will generally just come from this doorway, from red stair doorway, and I guess control room doorway. And we don't really have to worry about kitchen area based on how we play, because we have this area completely locked down.
As well as people will tend to try going for the hatches.
Right.
Alright. We'll talk about our 5 different operators we would play here. For this one, we usually typically like to have 1 roamer and have 4 people sit on point, because you can have how people are funneling in all these small doors, you can have a lot of stall throughout the doorways. So typically our first person will be a Jaeger, and he can drop ADSs on point to stop the grenades, as well as he can play upstairs to be able to defend the hatch openings from the attackers being able to get the hatch. In addition to that, our number 2 option, we typically like to go with Castle. The reason why we go with Castle for number 2 is we're able to block off the kitchen, which makes, we usually do the window of the kitchen as well as the 2 doors. This makes the attackers have, if they want to come through kitchen, have to burn a lot of utility or a lot of time in order to actually get through the kitchen area, which makes them tend to want to funnel through these 2 doors, like Ryan just said a little bit ago. In addition to that, for their third operator, we like to go with Goyo, because he has the fire Vulcan shields. He can place them on the 2 doorways that people push through. So if someone's coming in at the last second, you could fire them off. If you know they're going to make an attempt to make a plant, that's when you can set them off. As well, it gives you cover and you can see through them. For the 4th one, we will usually go with a mute. For that, just like for backing kayaks, we want intel denial, stop them from droning out and seeing where we're sitting on point. And then for the 5th one, we usually go with the smoke. This one will also help with the stall with Goyo when people are trying to execute the plant. And they start hopping over the shields, and you could smoke out where they're trying to plant. On this objective, we tend to make some rotate holes, so you can see. We'll tend to do one right here. Do you have impacts on, Ryan? Or you can shotgun?
I got the super shot.
So typically we'll like to do an impact of rotate hole there, so the person flying it back here is able to help and see to the front door. In addition, well, we should say where the 4 people are sitting that are on point. Typically, one of them will sit in the corner right here, so they can stop people rotating over the shield, jumping over the shield. We'll usually put a line of sight for them to see to the other point, like right here, if you want to shotgun that open. So person number 1 will sit in one of the people sitting on point will sit in this corner, so you can be able to watch this doorway and help the other objective. Typically, the 2nd person will sit back here by this table, so he can help look down this way, and if they actually end up opening up kitchen, he can look over to kitchen as well. The 3rd person typically will sit inside B, so he can help stop them pushing up, or he could play up in the corner here and peek down by the bridge. And the 4th person will play slightly outside the objective, out in this hallway right here. This person is usually one of the mute or the smoke, so as the shotgun, probably the mute, because you don't want your smoke dying early, and he could stall out from people pushing into this hallway. Did I miss anything there, boys? Anything you want to say?
Nope.
Is there any other substitutes we could trade out for any of our operators?
The only one I can actually think of is, I don't think you necessarily need a Goyo.
I mean, I think they're really all could be traded out, but you won't have the exact same goal. I would definitely have the Jaeger above. You could go with another roamer, but just having the Jaeger above allows you to have the ADSs on point. So you'll be able to stop grenades and stuff that could easily destroy your Goyo shields or other things you have in point, as well as damage you. But as for the people on point, yeah, you could switch out the castle for someone else, but then you gotta watch kitchen. You could swap
I
out the
think
Smoke for someone else, and you could swap out the Mew once again for Mozzie or someone else that brings the Intel Denial. But the reason why we set up with these 4 is because we like the stall they all provide together. With people
I
not being
will
able to
say though
see.
that for Goyo, I do think you can substitute Goyo for someone like Frost.
Yeah, but where would the Frost Traps really work well here? I guess it could work. You would need more deployable shields in the doorways to place the Frost Trap over the shields.
Oh yeah,
You would
forgot
need
about that.
the Smoke could bring one and the Frost could bring one then. In that case, so you could
Yeah.
still have 2 deployable shields. Trappers aren't bad. Anyone that could stall them from pushing in at the last second, because really their main focus is not to get hatched. If they get hatched, then this objective becomes a little scary, because if they open all 3 hatches, they have a lot of holes seeing down into you. But otherwise, it's not too bad. 2 of them are actually above the points, and one of them's in the kitchen. So that's why when we castle this off, it actually really doesn't even matter if they open the kitchen hatches, really 2. So you just got to be cautious when you're sitting on point for the hatches. Is there anything else you guys want to say for this objective?
No.
Sounds good, Alfred. It sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Spartans! What is your profession?
For Smoke, he's going to be reinforcing walls 1 and 2 in kitchen, and he's going to place his deployable shield, and he mainly plays in security room.
So for Mute, he'll be reinforcing wall 3 and 4 located inside the kitchen. He will be placing his jammers all around the doorways leading into the point, and he will be playing right outside security in the hallway. Next up for Castle, he will be reinforcing wall number 5. He will be placing his castle walls all over the windows and doors leading into kitchen. He'll place a bulletproof inside points just in case they end up opening up those castles. You can get some vision into kitchen. And he'll be making rotate holes to allow him to see into security from different angles. And he will also be sitting in point in the corner displayed on screen. So for Goyo, he'll be reinforcing wall 6 in kitchen, as well as getting one of the hatches being number 7 upstairs. He'll be placing his Vulcan shield at the 2 doorways of the points from the hallway. Then he'll be playing behind the deployable shield that Smoke placed earlier on. So finally is Jaeger. He'll be placing all 3 of his ADSs around the points to stop projectiles from coming in. He'll place his barbed wire over by Mute, down by the lower bridge, to stop people from rushing Mute so easily. Then he'll be heading upstairs and getting both reinforcements, 8 and 9, as the last 2 hatches. Then he could use the last barbed wire to help him defend upstairs wherever he chooses. I personally like to put it on Skybridge so people can't rush through Skybridge. Once again, if you guys want to download any of these blueprints to use them from yourself, you can go find them on our Twitter. Links are down in the description. That will do it for the rest of this video today. If you guys liked it, please give us a like. Comment down below what map you guys want to see us do next. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of our posts. We've made more of a consistent schedule. Every Tuesday we'll be doing our podcast episode, and every Thursday we'll be doing additional video relating to Siege. It might be a little different every single week, but it will always be something related to Siege. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.